Hello, fuck cape shit. Welcome to another episode of Shittywebcomics Weekly, brought to you by our Subscribe Star backers. Donate to our Subscribe Star to hear the truth. Don't donate to our Subscribe Star if you don't want to know the truth. It does also support us, but also if you donate more money to us on Subscribe Star to get us to shut up. So that I think that will work. It might work, but finally we're getting to the big Razor Fist thing. And I was going to go, like, he just made these tweets, I think either October 8 or 9. I think 9. He had this giant, multi-hour meltdown nonstop about
Unprompted, as
pit
far as I can
bulls.
tell. I mean, somebody was just basically talking about
It's the tell.
rates.
It's the goof of all time. It's the ultimate tell for what kind of person, what kind of character you are. What do you do for a living, character? But
Well, also, it's kind of like the Kobayashi Maru.
yes, it's
It's
a
a real
no-win
test.
situation for him. I mean, all he really had. See, that's the thing is that when your whole YouTube persona and shit is like, I'm outspoken, I'm talking, and no one can stop me from talking. You know,
I'm speaking really dangerous
yeah,
opinions.
I'm speaking truth to power about pit bulls, but yeah, that's the thing is that like your whole thing is how outspoken you are. So it's like I'm gonna go off about it, but he's quote tweeting like just fucking one person after another, after another, after another. And I was going to go to at least one of his tweets. There was one I had in mind. In particular, I wanted to be a particular individual and reply to him with every Pitbull meme that I had. Um, Only to find out that he blocked me. Very tragic. Already. And it was over something I posted the day before that wasn't about pit bulls. I think it was about. I either replied to him or tagged him. I think I replied to him
I forgot if
about.
we also mentioned this.
It was about Comicsgate, though.
I was mentioning this. I don't remember if that was in the video or not. But I was like, what kind of person ever blocks anybody? I don't give a shit
Yeah.
where you are or what excuse fucking
Yeah, no matter
you
what the other person has done, whatever it is, whatever was said, whatever is going on, there really isn't ever any reason to ever block anybody on anything. And in
you
fact,
never need to do it.
yeah,
Never. It's never a requirement under any circumstances.
it's so never, it's never. But
No, it's
I
like
mean,
the
it's true.
shuttle endeavor.
Their space shuttle endeavor. The space. I love how that was an Opie and Anthony call. Some guy is calling up about the space shuttle endeavor, and he said it so funny. They got him to keep saying it over. They were like, "What? What's the name? No, what was that space shuttle that just exploded? The space shuttle endeavor." It's just fucking, having a gay. Sort of like the caller with a tooth whistle. And so they kept trying to get him to say words with S's in them. And then he was
And
like,
eventually,
"You
he knew
guys
he
are
was being made
assholes."
fun of, but he didn't seem to know
No,
exactly why.
I don't think he knew, but eventually, like after he hung up or something, they just fucking kept going, and fucking eventually, Ant got out the
That's
slide whistle and was just
the
blowing it into it
Yeah,
for
the
every
best
S.
part was Patrice, where he's laughing really hard at all of this, and then at the end of all of it, he's like, "If this was high school, that would be a shoot up the school situation."
Yes, fucking Patrice is so. Oh God, I'm still in phase one. I'm still in anger, the anger
Yeah,
phase about him
me
dying. I'm
too.
angry at
I
the
was also
world.
just thinking about the fucking the greatest story ever told, which is no longer the Bible anymore. Now it's just Patrice O'Neill
Yes,
talking about his false rape accusation and going to
yeah,
prison
how he went to
and how
jail.
he almost had to shiv a guy, and
He
he's
had a
like, "If I
bent up
didn't go
soup
through with
lid.
that, you never would have heard of me."
Yeah, he
But
was like,
yeah, fuck,
yeah, that
that
was
is fucked
fucking
up,
crazy
though.
shit. Yeah, because the funny thing is that they didn't know, and I didn't know. Nobody knew the way Patrice is. You wouldn't have known he was ever falsely accused of rape, put in jail for it, and he just
Prison.
yeah,
That's the thing too, is they
yeah,
called it an
prison.
assessment. He's in there with like lifers and
Yeah,
stuff.
murderers, but who were just fucking. And here's the thing, though. It didn't sound as violent as you would think necessarily, but he said that his friend who went in was so fucking scared that he basically lost his mind, never came back, essentially, and that there was scary shit. And he also, like, if anyone offers you anything, if you're hungry, you eat your hand. You know, if anyone offers you a candy bar, it's like, okay, then they're gonna fucking take that out of your ass literally afterwards. Just
I
don't
also
fucking
was
take
thinking
anything
about
from
that because I
anyone.
watched the what is it? The or I didn't watch something. It was the Hard Time, the fucking Constantine,
Hard
or
time. Oh yeah, that's right. The Constantine comic. Yeah, that was it. Was a
Hellblazer.
really good. Yeah, that Hellblazer comic with which is Constantine, but that was before they renamed it to It was back when it was still in Vertigo. Back when Vertigo still existed, basically. Many. I think it was the late '90s. But
Yeah, it was 2000. That one specifically, that arc.
that one was really good though, because yeah, Constantine goes to jail because I think he's sort of hunting for someone, and he basically just drives he puts these just little weird subtle spells just everywhere, and ends up just driving the entire prison population just to fucking shit. And he makes himself the king of the jail because again it was all part of his scheming, his schemes and
Well,
scams.
there's some good character stuff in there too.
Yeah.
There's some really good Constantine. That's one of the really great things about Constantine is he has the ability to perform magic, but he's like less of a Mary Sue than a whole lot of fucking Marvel and DC
Yeah, he
superheroes.
basically can't fight his way out of anything, but he knows the spells that he kind of isn't supposed to know, I think. Um, all this is good, interesting stuff. And that's why it's good to bring up. One other thing I was going to bring up, though, about blocking people, why there is no reason. Muting people, yeah, absolutely. You just fucking, it's like, hey,
That's
I
the
got better
key
things
thing,
to
man.
do with my life than
Twitter
keep up with
allows
some
you to
Twitter
mute
fact.
people. That's all you should ever have to do. And I actually mute people that I might want to hear from again just because I need to clear up my feed.
Yeah, it's like I gotta be caught up with Twitter. So it's like I don't want my Twitter feed too clogged. So sometimes I'll turn off retweets by somebody if I follow. So
I'll mute
sometimes even if they have good retweets of
I'll
stuff.
mute a thread I just replied in
Yeah,
because
I've muted a
I
few
know
threads where it's like
I
somebody
don't
starts a
need to
sub
fucking
argument.
I don't need to see or hear anything from this. I know there's not going to be any interesting fucking
Nobody will top
shit.
what I just said. But yeah, even if it's a positive thing. But like I've posted a thing, it gets like 1,000 likes or something. And it's like, oh, neat. This one's doing numbers.
This one.
3.
Oh,
But it's like people reply to each other in reply to the thing, and they start having an argument. So I just mute that. It's like, I don't care. That's
if you block
whatever.
somebody, though, it's because you're very thin-skinned. You're afraid of the concept of
Also,
anyone having opinions
most
or viewpoint.
importantly, if you block somebody, they can't see you making fun of them. They can't see you mocking them. Why would I want that? Why would I want somebody not able to see what I'm saying? Here, let me cross my arms. But let me, why would I want that? Why would I want somebody to not see me mocking them? Whereas I'm constantly getting blocked by Jews, but also
Yeah,
from your
that's so
favorite trad right wingers, including, as it turned out, Razor Fist.
we're mocked. We are banned or blocked by a fuck ton of like leftists who run block bots because they're again they're very afraid. They're very thin-skinned. They can't handle
Mm-hmm.
even a discussion. These are the people who are saying we need to have a discussion on so and so. They are the people preventing all discussion.
Yes, they don't really want the discussion. They want a lecture, as we pointed out first, and other people started parroting us
A
when you
very
hear them say that.
disingenuous lecture. But the key thing is also why is somebody like Razor Fist doing exactly that too?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. The SJWs have their block lists and block bots and whatever. That doesn't surprise anyone. What may surprise you is that a lot of right wing people do too. Now, Razor Fist doesn't, and some others don't. But you know who does is guys like that Umbrella guy and
Well, I don't
Ethan
know
Van
if they run a
Sciver, and a
block
lot of
bot.
people in Comicsgate use block lists. Um,
I don't know. I don't know if they do or not.
I do
I
because
know the ones that do. I definitely know the ones that do.
Yeah, I know specific. Well, yeah, Razor Fist. I don't know if he does, but there are a lot of people in Comicsgate who, again, are being supported and friends with some of your favorite YouTubers like Razor Fist or fucking Nick Ricada and that kind of shit, who use block lists and block people without a single interaction. And I know this because I've been blocked by several of them without ever having been interacted with them. And the thing
Some of
is,
them never heard of before.
some of
Never
them
even
come
heard
out
of either
and
of these
just
guys
straight up
before.
admit it. Many of them have straight up admitted it and will make SJW feminist arguments. Just straight up, no fucking exception, no difference.
Even Ben Shiver did that. We
Yes.
asked him, "Why are you blocking people who are asking for refunds on your book?"
Yeah, and
And
then
he
he
was like,
blocked
"Well,
us.
I can block anyone I want if they upset me on Twitter."
Yeah, he
And
actually said that.
yeah, that again, that's in reply to him blocking people who asked him for refunds.
Yes.
Not somebody who's trolling him or fucking
Yeah.
disagreeing with him.
His own
It's
customers.
people who are his customers.
Yes. And it's interesting because okay, so they're SJWs, and clearly anyone who would support that would have to be an SJW. But then why does Nick Ricada support that? And why does not a single person, except for us, even notice that we're the only ones with the thinking emoji, while everyone else is the thonk emoji?
We've
That's
got
not
our
good.
we've got our noticing caps on.
Yes, our noticing emojis on. And which, that's perfectly exactly like this. This is the behavior of all of them. If you like them, if you like your trad red pilled fucking YouTubers, they're actually like this. And we've proven it already multiple times, hundreds of times over in the past couple of years. And you've all been ignoring it because you're inferior, possibly
We
genetically.
revealed their nature. That was the
God,
thing, too. It's not like we were fucking looking to do that either.
God did not see fit to birth you with a soul, but he gave one to us. How come that? Why come that? Why come you think he done it? I don't know. I guess not a problem for me. Not my problem. Just like pouring cooking oil down my kitchen sink. Not my problem.
Somebody else's problem now. The government's problem. Not my
Sure
problem.
is. Yes. Anyway, so Razor Fist. I don't know what the original thing is, and now I can't look because Razor Fist has me blocked. Wow, how unfortunate. And it was over some Comicsgate thing.
He sprayed urine like Fear Musk.
He was submissively pissing himself all over himself in his sweatpants. Or no, wait, his leather pants. He's so dude. He's so
That
cool.
part is that's not usually how submissive urination works.
It's
But
not supposed
he's
to.
just so submissive.
He's completely submissive. I mean, just listen to how he was with his girlfriend. Fucking, you think he was manly with his girlfriend? No.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Anyways, so here some of the fucking replies to him. Like some guy saying, Carolonian hidden NC saying, never knew a pistol to run up, aim, and fire itself in a toddler's face. And Razor Fist says, exactly why both arguments are moronic. Congrats on missing the point by 5.5 miles. Whoa, this guy's clever. He's just like fucking Dennis Miller.
Measurement.
That's a real Dennis Miller line right there. That's some fucking...
Yeah, but it also goes to show, wow, he had to put in the work to measure the exact amount of supposed missing the point.
Yes.
It makes me wonder, how fucking invested is Razor Fist in making sure these people get the point? It seems like an excessive amount.
Perhaps. Here's another. Loudmouth Scotsman says, this pit bull a few years ago entered a school entirely on its own. It wasn't brought to the school. It didn't have an owner nearby and just started mauling 3rd and 4th graders. Sorry, but I just don't see this shit happening with a Labrador. Razor Fist quote tweeting. Again, so he can try to ratio these people and get his fans to support him. Razor Fist hiding behind his fan base, which is something that we caught Nick Ricada doing multiple times too, by the way.
But again, I mean, fucking...
None of you noticed this either. We're the only ones who noticed this.
Why would you respond to this unless you're just really bitter and, like, insecure?
Not noticing this makes you a cuckold, by the way. Which is why we are the ultimate anti-cuckold, as sort of like the pro-Christ, whereas all of you who don't notice this stuff are anti-Christ worshippers and pro-cuckold.
And not Christ.
Just not even Christ. Jesus himself would ascend us to heaven by choice. But anyways, yeah, so the guy who mentions the shit ball ripping up a fucking elementary school, Razor Fist replies saying, "You disproved your own argument when you opened with, didn't have an owner nearby, the second most dangerous dog breed per mauling statistics, the Bull Mastiff." Whoa, the second most? What one's the
I wonder
first
which one's
most?
first.
It's just like the did you know 1 in 4 homeless people are women? It's like, whoa, what are the other 3/4? The suicide rates of women are rising. 1 in 10 of suicides are women. Whoa, what are the other 9/10? And here's Razor Fist going, the second most dangerous dog breed, the Bull Mastiff. Yeah, exactly would that percentage
sure that's
be?
not even true. Second most dangerous. We already fucking shown. Well, it was in one of the previous videos. It was a fucking Rottweiler.
Yeah, the Rottweiler's the second most. Which maybe somebody's like, the Bull Mastiff is actually another word for Rottweiler or something. I don't give a fuck.
It's something we did also, again, prove ourselves correct.
Yeah, I don't get. Here's the thing. Razor Fist is wrong in saying the Bull Mastiff is the second. The second most dangerous dog breed is the Pit Bull. The first most dangerous dog breed? The Pit Bull again. So
white woman.
The white woman. But he says, the gentlest giant you could ever own. One trainers recommend to families want to start down this slippery slope. Whoa, look out. Razor Fist is going to own you with facts and logic.
There's no argument here. He has absolutely no argument here.
This is exactly like Eric July also. Is just like, the fact that I'm angry is where you lost. Look at my fans. They agree with me. It's like, again, like he's getting a bunch of likes on this.
Statistic taken completely out of context.
But even if it's not, it's not even a statistic taken out of context. It's just not even real. It's completely imaginary.
It's completely fake. But even if you fucking didn't know that, it doesn't disprove anything.
It never happened.
Even if you factor in, even if we pretended like the number one fucking wasn't pit bulls, it's like, okay, so pit bulls aren't dangerous because of that statistic? That's not the truth. That's not how any of this works.
Here's somebody named No One
It's
Cares.
Like saying that fucking fire doesn't burn people.
Yeah.
Because
fire's nice.
Burning down houses as much as they're fucking getting shot.
Fire provides us with warmth. It's a warmth with a P. It's a good thing. Fire is therefore not harmful at all.
That is what his argument is.
Yes, unironically. Somebody named No One Cares at I Care Not _ whoa, but he says, I love you, Razor. This is the ultimate perfect example of the fan of these people when they finally notice what we've been saying is true the whole time after years and years of us posting the evidence and being correct every single time. They're like traumatized. They're like battered wives. Every single fan of one of these YouTubers, e-celebs, trad-based family, wife and children whose kids are going to die as atheists of a drug overdose when they're teenagers, that kind of shit. Your favorite fucking trad Chad with a loving wife and family will have atheist children who will die of a drug overdose. No exceptions. And when it happens, don't blame me just because I knew what was going to happen. I tried to warn everyone. You didn't want to listen.
Why didn't you listen?
Yeah, and Razor Fist, though, terminally childless himself, which, to be honest, I think is a good thing. I don't think he should be having kids. I don't care if he's white. Fucking... especially, I mean, imagine if he had kids, then he's going to bring the pit bull around the kids. Really? How's that going to turn out?
There goes the kids. There goes the neighborhood.
There goes the
neighborhood. Just they got mauled to death.
Just like my favorite Frylock quote, "There goes the neighborhood." After he just murders Carl for like no reason, just stay. One of his fries turns into a metal blade and just stabs Carl in the chest. There goes the neighborhood. Why was Frylock? Oh, because it was all a simulation. That's why. Well, it's kind of a weird simulation, but okay. Anyways, but yeah, so this no one cares says I love you, Razor, but I watched a man get mauled by a pit that jumped out of an apartment window. The man was walking a small dog and grabbed it when the pit appeared, so the pit attacked him instead. He lost an ear part of his finger and needed 1,000+ stitches, which
Literally like that fucking meme of the heroic pit bull swims 5 miles to shore to maul a child or
yes,
some
yeah,
some shit.
exactly. That's one we didn't have in the previous videos, but again, just think of them, imagine them in your head, and it's like
Somebody just
seeing them.
somebody just posted this one to generic actually. 23 pictures of pit bulls that will make you forget about the tragic mauling of your neighbor's 7-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking pit bull with like a fucking shower cap and a fucking rubber ducky
A
in its
happy
mouth.
shower cap. You know what? I think we'll try and I'll dig up some more Pitbull memes if I can before the because we're gonna have to cut this one into another video. It's so much good content here.
Well, yeah, we got off track because it was important for us to.
Well, certainly, we're justified. We're always justified in everything we ever do because we're correct and we're telling the truth. Some people just don't like the truth. Hey, is that one of you out there who doesn't like the truth? Why are you a knight in Satan's service? How come you're
Well,
that?
if you're fucking if hey, is that you out there that's not appreciating the truth? Well, I guess you won't mind if I maul you to death. After all, I'm a pit bull, and it's not my fault. You were just a bad owner.
Yes. Is that you out there not appreciating the truth? Why is your wife getting fucked by that other person of a different ethnicity than you or your wife?
This person with of different melanin.
A different content. Perhaps somebody who was previously a king in Egypt. Egypt had kings, right? Um, anyways, the so this guy says, I love your razor, blah blah blah. Need 1,000 stitches. Razor Fist says, I love your random person, as if to be like, hey, let me throw this back in your face. Take that. You're gonna feel stupid. But if
So
personal
it's literally
anecdotes,
also just a worship. It's Razor Fist also worshiping e-fame and celebrity.
yeah, his own. That's the person who worships E-Fame the most is the E-famous person, after all. I mean, that's true of all celebrities for the most part, except that there are more exceptions in regular celebrities than with these fucking internet famous, not even niche micro celebs, but just a person who doesn't deserve to be known. If you really had a healthy family life out there, you wouldn't be a YouTuber. You wouldn't be a fucking YouTube streamer who streams more than once a week. You just wouldn't do it. We don't stream any of it. All of these are pre-recorded, and we record like 20 of them in advance, and then just throw them in the schedule.
We used to have more followers, and we fucking were so dangerous.
Actually, we have more followers now, technically, but we
Well,
almost have
I
a
mean,
thousand
back in
too.
the fucking days of the Dumbler blog, we
Yeah,
had
oh, that's true.
thousands and thousands, including a lot of people who didn't have accounts.
Yeah, so they couldn't even be measured objectively or
And we
quantifiably.
fucking willingly threw them fucking just cast them off because it would have meant not telling the truth.
Yes, we would rather burn our blog to the ground than ever not tell the truth. So the most honest people you will ever see on the entire internet is us, and always is going to be us, ever, for all time. That's never not going to be true. And if anyone doesn't like us, ever, if a single person doesn't like us, it's because they worship the Antichrist. No exceptions. Never going to be an exception. And if you're friends with somebody who worships the Antichrist, you're kind of in league with Satan's service as well. Why are you doing that? I don't know. I wouldn't, but a lot of people out there do it willingly. I almost hope and pray, wish and hope and pray for a satanic overthrow of the planet, just so people can get what they deserve. Nuclear holocaust, perhaps also. I'm for it. But Razorfist says, I love you, a random person, but if personal anecdotes were valid arguments, which they are, by the way. The pit bull I once owned and the cane corso I currently own, banned just like the pit bull in many countries that never attacked anything but their own ball sacks, would be a serviceable counter-argument.
That just means that that's another dog breed. They're banned in many countries. Is that for no reason? Or is it for a reason?
And he's saying that a personal fucking anecdote isn't an argument. Otherwise, his personal anecdote would be the argument. It's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's not go by personal anecdotes. How about we go by statistics? What about that?
What is the plural of anecdote? It is data.
Yes, exactly. Which, again, yeah. So this one guy's story of a pit bull that jumped out of an apartment window to maul people and fucking ripped people up and all that shit. That's just one anecdote. Then there's the other anecdote of another one, and then another anecdote of another one, and another anecdote of another one, and you know what that builds up to is data. From Star Trek The Next Generation. But anyways.
Data. Yeah, it's like data.
Data.
The Next Generation.
It is. Anyways, Buffalo Williams at _Dalton _ whatever. Says, not arguing for... Again, these people just trying to pussyfoot around...
They're being too gentle.
Greg Shell's razor fist here.
He's being totally Greg Shells.
Yes. But this guy says, not arguing for, against it... I think he meant for or against, these people. You know how Razor Fist fans are. But anyways.
Thanks.
But anyway. But in response to this point specifically, you know how we always say, look, my gun isn't just getting up and killing someone by itself. Okay, well, a dog can do that. Have guns been banned because there are other animals we aren't allowed to own? And Razor Fist says, but that's precisely why the illogic applies. Ooh. Because present gun control arguments presume sentience upon the weapon, which is a stillborn fallacy they deploy on purpose. Yeah, but here's the thing. This is the cuck rights version of virtue signaling. Is like, look, I'm for guns. Anti-gun people are wrong. Therefore, and then why they're a cuckold and why that's okay and why their child-abusing friend is a good person, that kind of shit.
And that's also, that's where FUD comes from, yes. Which is a fucking slang term for somebody that claims to be pro-gun, but then also is like, that's why we shouldn't have AR-15s,
rocket launchers, tanks, nuclear weapons.
Handgun, that's also been used to justify banning
recreational McNukes, that kind of shit.
All kinds of otherwise weapons that should be allowed for ownership.
Fully automatic shotguns, dual AA-12s, dual Saigas with AA-12s taped to the underside of them.
Razor Fist is now also a FUD.
An abject FUD.
FUD.
But his tweets ends with, the argument is worse when applied to dogs, as unlike guns, when trained properly, they will obey. And again, the whole when trained properly, it undoes their genetics, apparently. That's the thing, is that Razor Fist clearly doesn't want to... This is why he'll never, go on with the race realism stuff, is because he's against it. And I understand why, because you want to look like a nice, correct, moral person. Again, virtue signaling. That's
I also don't consider that to be an excuse either. Race realism, we're talking about human beings, or at least people who should be considered human beings first, until proven otherwise.
Yes, until their behavior.
This is the subject of animals. And quite simply, it's like owning a rattlesnake and claiming, well, a lot of these rattlesnake owners have never been bitten, so therefore it's your fault if a rattlesnake in your ownership gets loose and bites 50 children and kills them all. And it's like, yeah, it is, but you shouldn't just be owning rattlesnakes as a pet. Your rattlesnakes are not your home defense system.
That would be a kind of a funny home defense system, at least as a meme. But Yeah, he put some flowers on the rattlesnake and call him Sweetie.
Yes, putting a flower crown on the head of a rattlesnake.
I mean, rattlesnakes actually usually look happier and cuter than pit bulls or
Yeah,
most other
that's
dogs.
the thing. Really, is pit bulls usually look very soulless when you look at them.
Yes, they
You look
got
at them in the
black
eyes.
eyes like a door's eyes.
They look like they're fucking like there's nothing going on up there.
Usually because
Not
they're
even
indeed
just
just
that they
not.
look happy or angry. They just look like there's nothing going on upstairs.
Speaking of animals that have nothing going on upstairs, Razor Fist makes another tweet in which he's not replying to anyone. He just says, "Yet to see an argument for banning pit bulls that couldn't transfer directly or perfectly to push the banning of firearms, though it's actually even weaker. If you pull a trigger, a gun always goes off unless it's a high point. Oh, most dogs never go off, no matter what the stimuli." And it's like fucking again. It okay that makes pit bulls good, I guess. Um,
Yeah, that's the fucking pit bulls have. That's an exact 1-to-1 perfect replica of an
wow,
argument
good job.
for
Yeah,
fucking for
amazing. Wow,
owning
fucking
guns.
his logistics are perfect. Razor fist. So yeah, just never
It
mind
has
any of the
zero flaws.
statistics.
There's zero flaws in his logic.
It's radical centrism. Whatever it debates, it will kill. Anyways, so that wraps up just the first screenshot. The other ones are kind of shorter, but again, we'll get into those. We'll focus more closely on those in the following episodes. Maybe the next one will be the
Focused like
last.
a
I don't
laser,
know.
which, as we also know, never blinds anybody unless you raise them wrong.
Yes. Good job. And remember, if you donate to our Subscribe Star, you'll have access to all of these episodes into one big chunk in a singular episode that you can watch all at once on our Subscribe Star. So just donate. It supports us. It supports the people who actually will tell you the truth as opposed to everyone else who just wants to lie to you so that they can be famous and get internet backpats and more likes on Twitter, which Razor Fist is doing right here and should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.